Hello again, everyone. Fascinating last discussion, I'm sure you will all agree. And thanks to Dan and all our panelists for doing such a great job of bringing some of these issues to life in such an engaging way. And we're also delighted that Ralph from the European Commission was actually able to join the session in the end. So great work, Rebecca, my colleague, and Ralph in dealing with that so calmly and professionally. So as the perfect bookend to this discussion, we're now turning to a pre-recorded intervention from Senator Bill Cassidy. Bill will be covering off how we can go about reconciling privacy with the power and potential of big data. And this intervention was recorded a short while ago. So Dan, if you can run the tape, please.
Hey, this is U.S. Senator Bill Cassidy. Thank you for allowing me to give the keynote for this conference. 2020 is going to be remembered for many things. We hope at least some of them are good. And I hope that one of those some ofs is going to be that we begin to seriously attempt to resolve the tension between individual privacy and the power of big data. By this, I mean we must protect individual privacy from the power of big data, but we must harness big data to benefit the individual. That's our tension. Now, we know the power of big data. It gets people what they want, what they need, faster, at a lower cost to the consumer, at a higher profit for the organization, for the company. In health, we can use predictive models which can reach and serve distinct risk groups which otherwise would be kind of lost within the whole. We can use predictive analytics to monitor the spread of infectious disease around the world, connect data systems so that if I move from here to there, big data makes sure that my data falls with me. A wearable can have real-time monitoring integrated into my other data to improve my health. Coronavirus contact tracing, lowering health costs, improving outcomes, all are potentials associated with the power of big data. But there is a problem, there is a tension, and that tension is, what about unrestricted access to my data? The power of big data unrestrained. We know that once information is released, it cannot be retrieved. Data breaches occur in every industry. As somebody once told me, it's not a question of if you've had a data breach, it's a question of whether you know it. Data brokers, they make money selling personal information, often without the permission and usually without the knowledge of the individual. Devices, and these same devices we talk that can improve my health, if that data is used against me, big data works against me, not for my benefit. One example, if my wearable shows that I'm constantly falling, my insurance rates may go up because an insurance company which has purchased this data is under the impression, maybe even the foreknowledge, that I may be at a higher risk for hitting my head. I didn't give permission for that watch to share my data, and it's being shared against my interest. That is the power and the threat of big data. And we could go on about other sensitive information like geolocation, genetics, etc. So what is the privacy landscape, at least in the federal government and in Congress? Health and Human Services, the Office of the ONC, has released the final rules to end the practice of blocking, of information blocking by health IT networks. So a hospital can't hold onto their data against the interest and the wishes of the patient. That's good. We have Exposure Notification Privacy Act, a bill that I have with Maria Cantwell, a senator from Washington State, which would regulate the collection and the use of consumer health data by disease contact tracking technologies. Put a point on it with an example. If I volunteer my information to an app that I've been exposed to COVID, so it can be spread out on a sheet and people can find out that they've interacted with me, my information is protected. That sharing of my data will not be sold to a company which may market to me COVID-related information, or which can use that information and sell it to my employer for whatever reason the employer may wish to purchase it, or any other reason. It can only be used for valid public health purposes. I also have another bill, we call it the Smart Watch Act, with Jackie Rosen, a senator from Nevada. And it kind of recognizes that currently health data is only protected by HIPAA laws under certain circumstances. But going back to this wearable that I mentioned, how there's information that can be acquired that can be for both my benefit, but also used against me without my understanding, without my permission. Under our Smart Watch Act, there would also be HIPAA protections related to the information gained from my smartwatch or another wearable that I was voluntarily giving up. And the Senate is still working on a comprehensive federal privacy law, which I think and will work towards making sure that it covers health information in this new environment. Now, there's other considerations. We know that big data has the ability to aid with patient identification and matching in different settings, and this can be a very positive public safety issue. Of course, it can also be unraveling my privacy. So we still have this tension we have between big data and protecting the individuals. Interoperability. We've spoken about data moving from one system to another. Big data can help solve that. And there has to be meaningful privacy protections by forethought, not by attempting to retrofit. That just has to be on the forefront of everybody's mind. And when we ask somebody to consent to the use of their personal data, the request needs to be meaningful in a way which is understandable. So let me finish by saying this. There is a tension between the power of big data to bring great benefits to an individual, to society, but the need to protect individual privacy from the power of big data. We need to give the patient the knowledge and the power to control her or his information in a way which does not overwhelm, but makes them comfortable that this tension is resolved for their benefit. Only then will we truly realize the promise and the power of big data in a way which is constructive for us all. Thank you for considering these problems. Thank you for allowing me to address you, and I look forward to working with you as we attempt as a society to resolve this issue. Once more, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Senator Cassidy, for that animated and engaging intervention. And we're now going to take a break for around 50 minutes. So go and grab some lunch, and we'll aim to be back here around 13:20 Eastern Time, so 13:20 Eastern Time. So enjoy the break, and don't forget to try out some of the networking functions on the platform. And I'd also encourage you to head over to the expo area to take in some of the content from our event partner, Axiom. So see you back here at 13:20